Okay, so this is, they're gonna go, a video to go over the milling machine cleanup procedures. Okay. So, number one, this is on the back side of the hard card that you'll get the first day of class. Number one, I'm gonna put away all the tools back in the proper location. So my end mill, not my end mill, but my hammers, my files, and any of the other hand tools I borrowed. Then I'm going to remove the cutter from the arbor. And actually I know I'm done, so even before I do this, I can actually reach up and hit the emergency stop. So that's, I'm going to return this end mill back to the proper location. I'm going to remove the workpiece, which I've already done. I'm going to remove the arbor. Now this process is really important. I make sure my quill is all the way up. I'm going to loosen the drawbar one turn. I'm going to hold the brake with my box wrench. I'm going to loosen this a half a turn, another half turn by hand. I'm going to use the combination of the box wrench. It has a little brass mallet. I'm going to tap the end of the drawbar with a mallet. And this end mill holder is again seated on the taper of the spindle. And I can, once I hit this, I can see that this is popped loose here. So I'm not going to unscrew it here, but I'm going to go ahead and unscrew the drawbar at the top to remove the arbor. So by hand, pretty quickly it will come out, and I can move my table a little bit so I have clearance. So that's removing the arbor. That's really important because the drawbar goes through the length of the spindle, and it has threads here. And it threads here into our arbor. And when this is tight, it's drawn in there by about 10 threads or so. And I only want to rotate it one revolution, so I have as many threads contacting my end mill arbor, so I don't have all the, when I hit it with a mallet, it's not just hitting on the last couple threads, and it'll save the threads of the drawbar the more threads are engaged to get it off of this taper from the spindle. So that's really key, that I only rotate it one revolution before hitting it with a hammer to unseat it from the spindle taper. So now at this point, number 5, I'm going to remove the chips. And for this I can use the brush here. I have the brush local. Where is it? Here it is. I'm going to remove all the chips from here. Clean this really as best you can. You can actually start using a rag for this. I'm going to take these out and wipe these down with my rag. Get the chips all the way out to the side, working from the top down. Removing all these chips. I'll go ahead and wipe these down and replace these here at the same location I got them, next to on my tool bench. It does say wipe and leave clean the exposed ways. On the mill, we have the way cover, so we don't necessarily need to do that. But I do want to go through and make sure all of these other areas are kind of wiped down here. They'll be on the same machine each week. So just treat it like it's your baby. I'm going to wipe down all these surfaces. If you kind of pick one thing every week to kind of wipe down, you'll see by the end of the semester these machines will look really nice. I'm going to wipe down the back of the chips. I'm going to wipe down the back way cover with the towel. And then that's number 7 would be remove the chips from the base, and I could use that again. My rag I would use the brush as much as I can, and when I'm done, the last thing I would do with this rag actually would be to wipe the chips out of the base of the machine. Okay? Wipe the oil from all areas of the machine. We shouldn't have a lot of oil that we'll need to do that as long as you just wipe down the other areas of the machine that have chips. We're good to go. I'm going to put all the accessories back. So all my end mills, the tooling that stays here on the bench, my end mill arbors, my drill chucks. I'm going to put this dirty, oily rag now in the can that I'm done with it. There's a red can here by the instructor desk where all the oily used shop rags go. And then I'm going to sweep the floor. And for sweeping the floor, I have, again, over by behind the vertical bandsaw, we've got the broom station. So please make sure you, even if you didn't get it from there, if you're done with the dustpan or a broom, make sure it gets put away correctly. I have that organized so we can find everything when we need. And that completes the milling machine cleanup procedures.